With the addition of the expertise system, exotic components are very high in demand. This is because you will need a ton of them to level up the expertise on both your weapons and gear. So with that being said, what is the fastest way to acquire this precious and highly valuable resource? Well, there are a few ways of farming exotic components on The Division 2, but there is one method in particular that can get you about 10 to 15 an hour. And I'm sure some of you guys know what method I'm talking about, but for the newer or returning players who have no clue, I'll be talking to you guys for the most part. So, if you would like to know how to get exotic components in the fastest way possible, then this is a video you won't want to miss. Okay guys, so for those of you who don't know, you can actually get exotic components by completing your daily and weekly projects. You get 1 for completing your daily and 3 for completing your weekly South New York project. But the best way to actually farm components extremely fast is by looting black crates in dark zones. These crates have a 25% chance of dropping 1 exotic component when opened. Specifically, the crates with the SHD tech symbol on them. These crates are the only crates that drop exotic components. However, just make sure to avoid these yellow painted crates, which cannot drop exotic components. But for those of you who shy away from the dark zone or would rather not have to engage with toxic players in there, I get it. However, there is something you can do to avoid players and farm these crates in peace, and I'll be explaining that in a moment. One thing to keep in mind is that the Dark Zone has 4 types of chests that contain loot and are located across the map. Any player in the zone can open a chest, but there is a cooldown timer that usually lasts between 15 minutes to half an hour after a player has opened it. But if you enjoy farming out in the open world, you can also clear control points, and upon capturing a control point, you can enter the settlement and open up these orange crates for a chance to get an exotic component. Now, this won't be near as fast as farming exotic components in the Dark Zone, but if you are also wanting to farm for targeted loot or level up your expertise at the same time, then this may be a better option for you. Also, you have the option to run Countdown, which is another great method of farming exotic components. What you can do is select assault rifles as your targeted loot and run Countdown on heroic difficulty. That is because there are more unique assault rifles than any other weapon type in the game, so you will have a higher chance of getting an exotic. Also, having the difficulty set to heroic will further increase your chances of getting an exotic. I'm sure many of you guys know this already, but deconstructing exotic gear or weapons will give you exotic components, and not only will you be getting an exotic drop, but you will also be getting Countdown Requisition, which you can then use to buy exotic caches. And the vendor for that is just right outside the White House over here. Just scroll all the way down. On the other hand, if you just want exotic components and nothing else, then creating a new character and farming Dark Zone crates in the lower bracket DZ is the way to go. And this is because the lower bracket Dark Zones are practically empty, so you can basically farm in peace. And don't worry, you won't have to level your character up again. In fact, once you create another character and reach the White House, you can boost that character to level 30 and start farming those precious exotic components right away. So let me just demonstrate this and walk you guys through it. I'm sure some of you guys know this farming strategy already, but I mainly want to help the new or returning players who don't know. Okay guys, upon creating your character, you want to select the main campaign. And one thing to note is that boosts are only available as part of the Warlords of New York expansion or purchased separately from the in-game store. Once you've created your character, you'll just need to fight your way through to the White House. Once you've made it to the White House, meet with the division coordinator upstairs. Right after the cutscene, return to the main floor and speak with the quartermaster. Select the shield skill and choose the Crusader shield variant in the middle. I'll show you why we are selecting the shield in a moment. Okay, so once you've done that, open up your map and complete the short tutorial. Now go in your menu and select apparel, then find the in-game store. Scroll over to add-ons, find the level 30 boost, and boost your character to level 30. Just note that by boosting your character to level 30, you will not be able to replay side missions, but who cares, right? We're just using this character to farm exotic components, so now just make sure to stop by the White House and speak to Inaya Al-Khalik to claim your account shared blueprints and materials. This is important because when you're farming these exotic components, you want to make sure it's being shared with your main character. Okay, so once you've done that, you can hit up any of the dark zones and start farming in peace. One thing to note is that you can actually craft any of the exotic weapons you own on your main account. In addition to this, you can also level up the expertise on your weapon and gear. That way you will have no problem eliminating NPCs in the dark zone. This can be your dedicated farming character. Just be careful not to accidentally deconstruct your exotic weapons as you're doing this, because that would be a nightmare, especially if you accidentally deconstruct any of your raid exclusive exotics. So again, be careful. Anyway, the benefit of farming in the lower bracket dark zone is that you won't have to worry about PvP very rarely, and even if you do encounter a player, you won't have to worry about them trying to fight with you, since they will more than likely not have the intention of PvPing. They will just be farming, and if they are in your way, you can just transfer to another DZ. These lower bracket dark zones are a golden opportunity to farm exotic components in the DZ. Okay, so now you'll just need to fast travel to any of the 3 dark zones to start farming, and once you finish farming all 3 dark zones, by then the first one you started with should have reset, then you can just repeat. This method is by far the fastest way to farm exotic components in the Division 2, so I'll start with DZ West and show you the locations of some of the crates, just so this video isn't too long. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Wow, this crate really just closed right in front of me, okay? Okay, so there's actually a player or players farming in here. Let's see if this next crate is available. Hopefully. Okay, great, this crate's up. So just remember to avoid the yellow painted crates because those won't drop anything. And here's the location. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so as you're doing this, keep in mind that some landmarks will be up and you will need to clear NPCs before you can loot the crate. Trying to loot the crate will be near impossible with NPCs shooting you. Okay, that last one was empty. Some will be empty, that's normal. It's best to do this as the later hours of the night if you are in the US servers. Most players will be sleeping, so the DZ will be empty. Just thought I'd mention that. Ugh, this one's empty too. Bro, if I find this person, I might have to fight them. They stealing my crates, man. It ain't cool. Let's see if this next crate is up. Ah, come on, dude. I haven't run into any players so far, so that's a good thing. Bro, for real? There must be a ghost farmer in here or something. Let's check this next one. Hopefully, it's there. Oh, nope. Bro, this person is not messing around. Greedy little bastard, aren't you? Okay, so I'm gonna check this last box. Pray for me. Oh, thank God. So I didn't get anything from that one. Sorry guys, this DZ is pretty active apparently, but this doesn't happen often. And like I said earlier, doing this in the later hours of the night is way better. So guys, that'll be it for this video. This is Prajna, and thanks so much for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to slash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I'll give you a cookie. I'm just kidding, but like always, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and peace out.